So I'm so excited to talk to you now about new research. A researcher from Sweden, her name is Wagner. The VIA Institute had a training for coaches, and Ryan Nemec did a great job of just kind of helping us understand which strengths we could pull up if we're working on our PERMA model, right? So PERMA is positive emotions, engagement, positive relationships, meaning, and accomplishments, as you know, right? And three things in her research are things that pop up for positive emotion. One is zest, right? Hope and humor. So her research is showing that these are the strengths that we need to pull into for positive emotions. So I found it interesting that it was zest, hope, and humor, because one of the things I do personally is appreciation for beauty. I actually look for things that are around me that are beautiful to actually give me a positive resonance. Like in the moment, I can bring joy to myself. What do you think about PERMA and positive emotions, the first element?
Yeah, and character strengths, how they relate to each other. Yeah. So you raise a great point about signature strengths in general, but I think that engaging our signature strengths do, by their nature, elevate our positive emotions. They boost our energy and our positive state. So in that sense, it might not be in the research in that paper, but in that sense, it does give us a boost to our positive emotions. And then when you think about zest and hope and humor, hope is itself a positive emotion. And when you think about humor, the laughter and playfulness that comes along with this, there's just sort of this natural, I think, tie, and zest as well, the vitality and enthusiasm. It kind of isn't a surprise to me, although still fascinating, that these character strengths are related to positive emotions, as opposed to a more of a mind strength, like critical thinking, for instance.
Yes.
That are based in cognition rather than in the heart.
Yeah. So in PERMA, the next one is engagement, which is the E, and we know that's like to be in flow, right? So these of course make you feel like you're in flow. Creativity, curiosity, love of learning, perseverance, zest, leadership, and self-regulation. So I know that when I'm creating something, I go into flow. So what are your thoughts about engagement, the PERMA element of engagement, and the signature strengths?
Mm-hmm. I think signature strengths and those character strengths now they're showing can be viewed as pathways to engagement. So if there is a lack of engagement, it would behoove us to look at these strengths that we have, especially if those are signature strengths of ours. So for instance, creativity is my number one strength, and without it, I go very flat. My engagement goes way south. And when I can find ways of being creative or bring my humor, which is number two, to even mundane tasks like doing the dishes, I can become more engaged in doing dishes by making it more fun. And telling jokes to my partner, or there are all sorts of different, even small ways of boosting our engagement.
Yeah, that's great. So P in PERMA is positive relationships. And of course, there's three character strengths that pop up here in Wagner's research. It's love, kindness, and teamwork.
So love and kindness are both considered humanity strengths. They're in the virtue humanity, which allows us to create and build strong relationships. And I think especially kindness is sort of like a glue that glues us together. We could, in some pockets of our world right now, use a lot more kindness. And I think that could, and love. And teamwork, interesting. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense about, building strong ties and collaboration and so on.
Yeah. Just read this article recently by Harvard Business Review about how important conflict is with teamwork when you're trying to be creative. So teamwork doesn't mean just the positive relation doesn't mean it doesn't always go well. It means that you like accept each other for what you're bringing to the table, which I think sometimes we need to. A positive relationship can actually have a conflict, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And in fact, character strengths can be really instrumental. Looking at a conflict through the lens of strengths can be so much more productive sometimes than looking at it through blame or,
Right.
uh, one person is right or wrong. Often overusing and underusing our character strengths can actually result in conflict and stress in relationships. So learning to dial one back and elevate another in its place can really help to help us understand conflict and problem solve.
Yeah. So the M is meaning,
Hmm.
curiosity, perspective, social intelligence, appreciation of beauty and excellence, gratitude, and spirituality are in
Hmm.
meaning.
Yeah, and some of those, many of those are in the virtue transcendence,
Yeah.
which is all about meaning, um, connecting with a higher purpose and um, finding activities and people that generate the sense of something bigger than who we are and meaning.
Yeah. So my meaning when I was running an enterprise and mother of two healthy, independent adult kids right now, back when I was trying to do it all, my meaning was the ultimate result of all ambition is a happy home, right?
Mhm.
So that always brought me back in any moment. If I took myself there, I could pull up one or two of these signature strengths to actually get through whatever I had to get through. The meaning for me right now, and I'd love to hear your meaning right now, is I'm really trying to help people get to where they're supposed to be.
Mhm.
How about you? You've grabbed onto the strength practice. What's your meaning?
Well, first, I love hearing about what's meaningful for you. It's a really important discussion, and I am doing the most meaningful work right now that I've ever done in my life.
Yeah,
Um, what's meaningful for me is being able to share wisdom and the research with other people and then helping them to share it with other people because it creates sort of this ripple effect of goodness and of strength and contribution. And I can't imagine for me anything more meaningful than that.
yeah. Well, we're attracted to your meaning. So thank you. So the A in PERMA is accomplishments, right? So the three character strengths that Wagner's research popped up that she says if you have these, you can work, accomplishments can be achieved, is a perspective, perseverance, and zest.
Hmm. Oh, zest.
Yeah.
Perseverance, I know, has been viewed as it shows up a lot in achievement studies. So that's not a surprise to me. Perspective, did you say? And
Yes.
zest?
Perspective, yeah.
Yeah, perspective. That makes sense because when we think about perspective, it's about seeing the big picture and understanding, really, being able to take parts and putting them together in a way that makes sense. And people with perspective tend to be go-to people for wisdom and advice.
Yeah. I That's amazing, isn't it? I don't know. I love finding out about the new research and how all these things fit together, right? How strength and PERMA and whoop and
Right.
all interrelate, right? You can actually have your whoop, which is your wish, your outcome, your obstacle, and your plan. If you understand your strengths really well and you know how your theory of well-being is, how your PERMA is, you can really hone in on what are you trying to make happen in your own life.
They really do weave together beautifully. I completely agree with you, Bonnie.